Alright folks, turn 40 and look at this. The throne rush is in effect. I have been somewhat bamboozled. So, I went back and checked our messages as soon as I saw this, and yep, I still have that non-aggression pact active, so I've canceled that. That starts the 3-turn cooldown before I can fight Atlantis, which is a little bit unfortunate, but to be fair, I don't think it makes a difference because I couldn't really reach any of his thrones in time anyway. So here's this is how this is going to go down. This huge stack is led by a national hero. Remember how I was talking just a short time ago about how I didn't think he could, he had the Holy Threes to pull off a rush? Well, he got this guy. This guy is a hero. He comes with air magic, which otherwise Atlantis doesn't really have. And he's Holy 3. So, with that guy, this army is rolling in on Ragha, and they're going to go take this throne and then claim it. So that's one more turn, 2 turns. Down here, he's got a monolith who I guarantee can teleport because that's the only way he could get there from Atlantis. So this monolith is about to claim this throne, teleport over here, and claim that throne. That's 3 turns total. In that time, somebody, somehow, someway, somewhere, has to take one of these away from Atlantis. I cannot reach to do it. I have Enceladus and I have Clytius, and they're both going to give it the old college try. But unfortunately, Clytius has a Frostbrand just because it gives him cold resistance, which will help him against Frozen Heart spam. The AoE will not be effective against Atlanteans or Undead, but he has enough attacks that he can still make it work. So, as I said, I can't attack Atlantis for 3 turns, and in this situation, a lot of people would just break that non-aggression pact. I'm not gonna. I don't think that's particularly. I think it's better to just keep them as a matter of policy, and like I said, I don't think it would make a difference. It would be more tempting if it would, but look, I have to go through at least 4 steps to reach his throne anyway. And it's going to be over in 4 turns one way or another. I've contacted Ragha, I've contacted Tianqi, I've let them know they've got to do something. Somebody's got to do something. I have the Laestrygonians coming, but they can only be in one place at one time. They can only move so fast. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the closest I have. Mimos could get there in 3 steps. So Mimos might be able to change something if Ragha can prevent this army from taking this province. And the way he might be able to do something is if I can get... Damn it, you're too slow. Who's fast? Your map move 22. Hoplodamos, can you get there? You can get there in 1 turn. So the way this is going to go basically is Hoplodamos. We're forging some gear to fill out Mimos' kit because he's not full yet. Mimos is going to hop down here. He's going to attack Bright Woods, which Ragha has agreed to let me do. Hoplodamos will hop over there at the same time, attack Bright Woods, pass him his gear, and then hop back home while Mimos continues on. Now, if I end up in that situation where Atlantis has taken this throne and I'm poised to counterattack it, that will be something that I have to consider because, like I said, I don't break non-aggression pacts. And if that means letting Perun win the game, to be honest, he deserves it. He's been playing really, really, really well. He's got a big old chunk of territory he's had for a long time. He's set up this rush. This is what I was trying to do in Once More Into the Breach, except he's doing it more effectively because he's got his territory secured and he's got a more powerful army ready to roll in here that's going to be hard to counter. So, like I said, if he can pull it off, I think he deserves it. Ragha is going to try to go in and do some damage with their mages to stop him from successfully taking the throne, but no guarantees about that. So we'll kind of have to see how it goes. Now, if he delays 1 turn, I've got him. Because if he delays 1 turn, if he waits a turn for these guys to move here, for example, to get more reinforcements for the attack, then it's going to be 1 turn there, I'll be there. 2 turns he attacks, I'm there. 3 turns and we all go in. And we have a huge scrum right here. And I'll be able to... Or 3 turns he takes it and then I attack next turn. In order to be cautious about the time. Just to make sure there's no arguments about timing maybe or something. And my Laestrygonian will rout off his army. Because Mimos... I did get my god back. I got the Gigantist back just in time. So I have the Shrouds. I have Regeneration and Reinvigoration, which is key. And Mimos will, of course, be able to cast the script. here. Phoenix Pyre, Soul Vortex, Iron Will, Temper Flesh, Earth Power, and Attack Rear. And with that, I think Mimos will be able to stomp all over his army. I really do. Just because he'll be Skella spamming, and we'll end up going to turn timer. And that will... all of his units will either retreat or explode. Now, Mimos, unfortunately, does not have time, and I do not have the gems to Twiceborn. So Mimos will die if that happens, or the odds are good that Mimos will die if that happens. But that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Also, I have Calicolon, and Calicolon is rolling over in that direction as well. Olm's army is coming up here. I'm pretty sure to attack Pangaea, so that should distract them somewhat. Genocidicles can't reach in time, since he only has map move 8 with his limp. So he's just going to stay here, holding down the siege of Mictlan, which will take a while to break down. And, yeah, beyond that, not a whole lot I can do, unfortunately. I can send in a few mages that I have available, but they're not really going to change anything. So it's like, kind of in this situation where I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. I'm forging a Mage of Eruption, a Mace of Eruption, a Lead Shield, and a Ring of Frost. I've had to do a lot of alchemizing to get the gems to do all this. You can see I'm down to nothing in everything. But, we'll see. We'll see how it works out. I'm not optimistic. I think Perun has played this very, very well, and he's got himself right on the verge of victory. A stumble at the last moment would almost be tragic at this point. But we might be able to beat him out to it. It just kind of depends. The Laestrygonians are closing. And I can push 4 Laestrygonians into his territory pretty quick here and start wreaking havoc. Now, Clytius and Enceladus are going to run out. I mean, they're all going to run out of death gems for Soul Vortex pretty quickly, but they'll still have the Phoenix Pyre, and the Phoenix Pyre is the key part of the strategy. Soul Vortex, in fact, isn't super useful against Atlantis because Atlantis tends to spam a whole lot of skeletons, who of course cannot be Soul Vortexed, cannot be drained of the life they don't have. So it's really the Phoenix Pyre that does the work in that context. But we'll see. We'll see how Perun gets on. He's got a whole bunch of Adepts of the Golden Order down here. He doesn't seem to have any in his armies up this way, but he has a lot of Astral, he has a lot of Water, of course, and he has a lot of Death. So he can spam a lot of Skeletons, he can throw out a lot of Astral spells, he can throw out a lot of Frozen Heart. He should be able to spam a ton of Frozen Heart. And if he does that, then obviously I need Cold Resist. Now, Mimos is going to end up with Cold Resistance from a Ring of Frost. We're going to actually swap that out for the Storm Spool. So he'll have 15 Cold Resist, which will render Frozen Heart basically ineffective. Down here, Enceladus has 15 Cold Resist. Clytius only has 5 Cold Resist, so Frozen Heart will still be effective on him. But he should be able to work through it, I think. To be honest, you already have 27 magic resistance, so we're just going to delete Iron Will from your script. We're going to have you summon Earth Power and then Temper Flesh, and then you can do Iron Will last. Yeah, that'll be fine. You need the Iron Will because you only have magic resistance 23. But you are the Prophet, so you can't be charmed or enslaved. Actually, to be honest, since you can't be charmed or enslaved, just forget that. Once again, summon Earth Power, and then Temper Flesh. If you get Soul Slain with Phoenix Pyre up, he'll respawn still, so that'll be fine. That doesn't bother me much. I've contacted Tianxi. I need to wait for them to get back to me, but I am going to need to kind of roll through their territory. The problem is, once again, I'm on this 3-turn timer, so I can't go boom, 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 boom. I can't go into their territory right away. I have to go this way, pretty much. So I can go 1, 2, 3, and then attack. That'll be fine, and it will also allow me to avoid all of Tianxi's forts, which should make him a little bit more amenable to this. So I'm just going to give that order. We're going to roll on through, and just hope he doesn't try to stop me. We're gonna roll through here, and yeah, we're gonna try to go for 47. But like I said, it would take a minimum of 4 turns no matter which way I went. So taking the extra turn to go around doesn't really hurt me, or 5, just because, like I said, it's gonna be over in 3 turns, pretty much no matter what we do. Unless Ragha can, unless either Ragha or Tianxi can pull something off. If Tianxi can take armies here and here, push through here, and go for 47, and do enough damage, and like even take the province for 1 turn, then we win. Then we're solid. Then we can stop Atlantis. If Ragha does enough damage to this army to force the Holy Three to retreat, or kills him with Leech, which is his plan, he's going to be spamming Leech, then we also win because he won't be able to claim this throne in time. And then my Laestrygonians will come in like a ton of bricks. We're going to go through the Vampire province and wipe out the vampires on our way through, as in revenge, more or less. And then we're going to hit Brightwoods and then go there. So, yeah, we've got 2 shots at it, assuming that Tianxi agrees to try. They're neither of them very good shots, but they are shots. And I'm also going to contact Relay, because Relay should still have Christine somewhere, and see if I can get him to teleport Christine onto 55. Now, of course, 55 is almost certainly forted, like it has to be, but I just haven't seen it. So, we'll see what we can do, but Perun, very good job, man. You've gotten this far. Even if we manage to stop you here, this was an excellent play, and you're doing well. Especially since I think this is Perun's first game. So big ups on doing this well. So thanks so much for watching turn 40. We'll see you all in turn 41. All right, folks. Do you even live turn 41? And I think it's over. Sideshows. Still besieging this fort. Ulm has actually attacked me instead of Pangaea, which is weird. But okay, I mean, that's fine. Kalikalan is going to go clear off his whole army. The crossbows might potentially do damage, but with the Phoenix Pyre and the Soul Vortex active, and with the Reinvigoration from the Girdle of Might, in combination with Summon Earth Power, he's going to be fine. He's not going to die here. Odds are very, very low of them being able to take him out. And he's going to take these 25 units, including a few Ironbound. They're just going to kind of block for him as he breaks the siege. And he'll get his spells off and go in with the Soul Vortex. He'll wipe out millions and millions of wolves with no trouble whatsoever. The Zweihander's infantries of Ulm will continue to feed him, and then the crossbowmen will do damage, but I don't think they'll be able to overpower first the Soul Vortex, and then of course the Phoenix Pyre. Even if he is killed, he'll just explode and respawn. So, yeah, this army is not going to win against Kalikalan, but they're going to stop Kalikalan from moving over here, which is going to make my odds over here worse. And, of course, I don't think those odds are going to matter, because, as I said, Atlantis, Perun has timed this very, very well. So, Paris Climate Accords has claimed the Throne of the Sun. His next move is going to be teleporting to 55, and then he's going to claim that throne as well. This throne is still unforted, but heavily defended. This throne, of course, he has captured, which he kind of implied to me that he wouldn't do, but never outright said he wouldn't do. So, I mean, okay, I guess. Not my favorite, but it's how some people prefer to play the game. And he's going to claim that. And because I ended the non-aggression pact only last turn, I'm not going to be able to attack him that turn. So, turn 40, I ended the non-aggression pact. That's 1. I move here. That's 2. On turn 3, I could attack him with Mimos. And I'm getting Hopladamus to get this gear over to Mimos, including the Ring of Frost, which will give him immunity to cold, so Grip of Winter won't affect him, Frozen Heart won't hardly affect him, so he would be fine, except that he can't do that. He has to wait 1 more turn because it's a 3-turn non-aggression pact. And I've expressed my feelings about people breaking non-aggression pacts before, and I know people disagree about this, and this is sort of a controversial thing in the Dominions community to an extent, but this is how I feel about it. I make non-aggression pacts, I don't break them, and if you bamboozle me sufficiently that giving you that 1 extra turn lets you win the game, good for you. You played it off right. So Perun played it off right. I wasn't paying enough attention to him because I was busy over here. I got sideswiped, and now I'm paying the price for him. And the price is he's going to get to claim this throne. I mean, he would get to claim it this turn anyway, but he's going to get to have that throne claimed and have his monolith on this province for a turn, which means he's probably going to win the game. Probably. Unless I'm sending Relay 10 Astral Pearls that he asked for and a text message basically saying, look, man, you're the Hail Mary, do something with it. So he might be able to drop a sufficiently thick hit squad onto Chilad to prevent Paris Climate Accords from claiming. Or actually, he might be able to hit Pavonia. Oh, that's right, because Christine can move over any number of provinces. She wouldn't be able to have any help, But Christine could get over here. Now, Christine's defenses rely a lot on etherealness, so magical damage gets past that. And of course, ice guards do past that. But do Tungalix? I think Tungalix do too. Wait, Tungalix? How many Tungalix does he have there? Damn. Christine still, if the monolith teleports away, Christine might be able to take Pavonia. Potentially. I'll point that out to him, and we'll see if anything can be done. Althaea is hosed, because Althaea forgot to patrol. See, even really, really good players can be hosed by one mistake. Althaea didn't patrol her capital, and so it got locked down by one Angakok, who came over here to Ragha, and skeleспammed the province defense to death. At least I think that's what he did. He had a Frostbrand. Oh no, he summoned water elementals at them. Even worse. And then he Soul Vortexed. Yeah, so yeah, that was not gonna, they were never gonna take him out. Oh, they got really, really close, though. Oh god. Oh god, that was so close. He was down to 1 hit point. Wow. Okay, so yeah, so Ragha is under siege, and now those mages can't attack, can't launch a Hail Mary attack to try and finish this off. So, yeah. Yeah, that's where we are. Perun has probably won, and we'll see. We'll see if he manages to pull it out, or if someone manages to put together something that can stop him. Probably here, potentially there in 47. I'll contact Tianchi and let him know if you can teleport anybody over there to Pavonia. If you have any thugs available that could go in, do it now, man, because this is your only chance. That's very heavily fortified, I know. This, of course, has a huge stack on it, which, once again, Mimos could defeat. And the Gigantist, in conjunction with Mimos, could defeat. Why does the Gigantist have a You know what? Never mind. I'm not even going to care about it. I'm not even going to worry about it. That's just going to be what it is. We are going to send the Gigantist over here as well. So we'll have the Gigantist, we'll have Mimos. Like I said, I was hoping to have Calicolon, but Calicolon has to beat up an Olmish army, or at least break out and wreak some kind of fearful vengeance. And I've got my two, Enceladus and Clytius are moving up through this province. They didn't move last turn because of the whole diplomatic mess. But they're going to go up here and then around somewhere and attack Atlantis, assuming it's still relevant. But it will only still be relevant if Atlantis has failed. And if Atlantis fails, we're going to go in hard. And we're going to carve this whole chunk off of Atlantis. We're going to take that throne. We're going to take that throne. And that's in their capital circle. So realistically, what that means is we're going to go to war with Atlantis and just beat them up. As bad as we can. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not confident at this point, as I've said a couple times. I think Perun's played it right. He has diplomatically... And in terms of the game, I mean, he played very, very well. Like, he got big. He's casting good spells. He's got his armies set up well. If we look at this battle in Bahamut, this is actually one of the things that can potentially counter Tyrants, which is, he starts off with a cast of Wailing Winds. And Wailing Winds means you have to make morale checks every round. Now, he's doing enough damage, and he's also sending people back here to fly around. So... I think probably he will berserk my my Tyrant if I attack this army, and the Tyrant will go on to defeat him. But like that's good play. He's dropping the right spells, he's doing the right things. And he really, I mean, if he pulls off this win, he deserves it. Like no question there. He's definitely played his cards right and done the right things. I want to say I'm probably in like 3rd or 4th right now. Overall, because Man is big but doesn't have many thrones, only the one really. Atlantis, of course, is definitely winning, and like about to win, which is the only metric that matters. I'm over here, I've got a throne, I've got a decent grip of territory, and of course I have the Laestrygonians, but I've been a slow burner all game. I got off to a slow start, I got involved in a couple of rough wars, so I'm only really like starting to roll out right now, and that's just too late. So, it has been a fantastic game, and we'll see in the next 2 turns if it's going to be over. So in any case, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in turn 42. Take care. Ladies and gentlemen, it is DoYouEvenLift turn 42. And the game is over. Paris Climate Accords, Guardian of Existence, Patron of Smiths, Prince of Grasses, Grain, and Reed, Ruler of Atlantis, has led his people to victory. I thought we had one more turn, but we didn't because there was a snow captain, his prophet. I had not accounted for the prophet. Or rather, I thought the prophet had been accounted for, and I was wrong. So, Eorok, the snow captain, has claimed the throne of eternal suffering simultaneous to the thawed one claiming the throne of the moon. It was the throne of the moon, actually. I'm surprised. I thought it was the throne of the sun, but that was claimed last turn. And so, Atlantis has scored the victory. Thrones of Ascension, he took the throne of the sun, the throne of eternal suffering, the throne of the moon, and the golden throne, which he took a long time ago, and as a result has the 9 points necessary to win the game. Up. Can't do that. Can't scroll out. Game chokes on everything it's trying to display. Let's cut off some filters. Let's cut off that. Let's cut off names. That helps. Yeah, that helps a lot. Okay, so yeah, it's over. We were fortunately I didn't have to face the dilemma of whether I wanted to violate my non-aggression pact in the one turn that we had left. I wouldn't have done it, but it was a little bit irritating that that was going to stop me here because I would have had to wait one more turn before I was allowed to go in against Atlantis. So, very, 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 very frustrating. But in any case, everything went fine. This last turn, well, it didn't go fine. Obviously, I lost, but it was a very well played by Atlantis. On this side, Pangaea tried to break free of their fortress that we were besieging, but of course, I still had Genocidocles there. And Genocidocles is not defeatable by armies, really. Like, you have to have some really, really specific counters to stop this at this point with the Soul Vortex Phoenix Pyre combo. So, Genocidocles just kind of walked forward. He actually drained a whole bunch of fatigue and HP from my own troops there. So he's up here. He's already back down to neutral fatigue. He also does have 4 reinvigoration. He hasn't berserked yet, either. And so he's just here sucking the life out of people. And my troops actually more or less won the day in that they chased off all the enemy units. They cast Howl, and so wolves started attacking us, and then we're charging forward, and the enemy army actually just routed. They couldn't beat the troops. And so Genocidocles just went in and started killing Centaur Sages. Who have, they have Mist Form up, which is why it's taking 2 hits to pop. And then he just went up and killed 5 Centaur Sages. He never even berserked. What is that? Damaged armor. Oh, I guess his armor of knights is damaged? Or something? Yeah, I guess it's not giving him any less protection, though, so I guess it only took 1 hit. So, yep, that was fine. Yeah, that's just life, I guess. Very, very well played to Atlantis. And you can see here, so Atlantis had a big chunk of territory. Core to his strategy here, I think, was that Atlantis never really fought Relay. Now, if I had been playing Atlantis in this game, I would have gone after Relay hardcore. And I would have secured this entire lake. And Atlantis can definitely do that against Relay. But there was some fighting, but certainly by probably turn, he'll have to confirm, Perun will have to confirm this, but by turn 30 or so, I would venture to guess, there was some kind of deal cut, in that Atlantis was not going to push the war against Relay any too hard, because that's the only way that Relay could still have all this land up here. Meanwhile, Perun was expanding onto land, which Atlantis can do with their very good troops, and he captured a whole lot of territory. And it's actually a whole lot of pretty gem-rich territory, too, I believe. Plus, he has the water, and the water has excellent, excellent gems in it. The Isle of Death, fantastic site. Arcane Vent. He got pretty good sites here. Pretty good sites. Basalt Ruins, lots and lots of death income. And if we look at gem income, if we look at the stat screens here, let's look at the score graphs. If we look at gem income, you may notice Atlantis is way the hell above everybody else. I'm way down here. Utgard, Man, and Atlantis are both fantastically higher than me. I'm not entirely sure why, except for chance, although I will say this, Atlantis had a lot more territory than I did too, so that definitely contributes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can just look at the provinces. Yeah, Atlantis and Man both had a lot of provinces. Atlantis kind of went way up near the end, but up until near the end, Man and Atlantis were close. Even so, though, Atlantis had a lot more gems than man did. That is the jump where he cast Mother Oak, and of course 5 of those gems were going to me as well, so my gem income should actually be, like, up here. But even so, my gem income was way down here, and his was way up there. He had at least twice my gem income, or more. I forget, he showed me his gem income at the end, but it was significantly more than this. Like, he had income of, I think, 20 in a couple of different types. And of course, I had no Astral Pearl income all the way to the end of the game. So this gem income, by the end of the game, this was low. Like, 10, 20, 32, 35, not gonna cut it on turn 42. You need more gems than that. In terms of forts, Atlantis had more forts, but not a lot more forts than everybody else. It actually... Yeah, Utgard and Man were both tied a little ways below him. I don't know what I was trying to say there. Atlantis' income was actually lower than Man's for most of the game, but then surpassed him right near the end. My income, of course, was generally low, because I was paying for Laced Dragonians, and because I wasn't able to really expand out of my starting area. In terms of research, Atlantis was very high. I was okay. I was researching alright, but Atlantis really rocketed off there. Sort of in the mid-game. I should have been maybe focusing more on Lightless Lanterns, but I really needed my gems given my limited income. Dominion, it doesn't matter much. My Dominion was definitely crippled somewhat by the fact that I have all these giant heretics storming around. And army size, of course. Army size not the most important, but once I started recruiting Laced Dragonians and stopped focusing on infantry, you can see my army size took a significant dive and never really recovered. And of course, in terms of ascension points, well, I had 1 for a little while. Actually 2, I think. But yeah, you can see boop, and then right at the end, bang, bang. 2-turn throne rush. Very well executed. Excellent, excellent game, Perun. In terms of how the game went, I definitely think Atlantis benefited here from not really having fights until he wanted them. Mictlan was... Where was Mictlan exactly? That was Mictlan right there. Which I knew. I had a scout there. And so Man, of course, got Mictlan early, but Mictlan being eliminated early also meant that one of Atlantis' potential competitors once he got over to there was eliminated. His immediate neighbors were Ragha and Tianxi and Ulm. Ulm was, of course, bogged down very early on in the game, and Atlantis kind of stole a couple of free, low-value territories from that, but mainly could basically make an agreement here, make an agreement here. Tianxi and Atlantis apparently had an agreement that lasted most of the game. Fighting underwater, like I said, he kind of took the territory near him, and then sort of let it ride. Relay was off doing his own things. Relay was under pressure all game, fighting Erytheia. Didn't really have the wherewithal to accomplish much against Atlantis. And Atlantis could then expand aggressively on land, while Utgard and Agartha were fighting, which I think that also happened for most of the game. And so Atlantis could just kind of secure a big swath of territory. I don't know how quickly he had these two, but I bet it was fairly soon. And this one, of course, was right in his cap circle, so he could take that at pretty much any time. So, good geography, a little bit of luck, and a lot of very, very solid play. Plus a lot of very aggressive site searching. I was site searching about as aggressively as I could. I felt like I could have done more, I guess, but I don't know. I have a lot of site searching done in my core provinces. I just didn't get to expand enough. And that is, I mean, a lot of that is just my fault. Strategically, I made a couple of big errors in this game. This game was fun. I think I did okay. I didn't do fantastically. I wasn't, like I said, I was never one of the top 2. I was probably number 3 or 4, as I think I said in the last episode at the end here. But, that said, strategically, once I realized that Ulm was not going to die easily, I should have just pieced out of this whole situation, made an agreement with Pangaea, let them fight there, and I should have gone after either Ragha or Abysia. Abysia was weak at the time, small and weak, and I could have possibly just rolled over them and taken their capital, which would have been very, very nice, because it would have given me the Temple of the Ever-Burning Pyre and the Smolder Cone, so a lot more fire gems. I might have potentially been able to reach Eternal Pyre then. Or I could have gone after Ragha, which would have gotten me a throne. And, of course, it would have gotten me Ragha itself, and Ragha has a lot of very versatile gem income. So that could have been useful, and I could have made an agreement with Tianxi or Utgard, possibly, to fight Ragha. Earlier in the game, Ragha would have been a lot easier to fight. As we saw later on, Ragha is perfectly capable of smashing giant doom stacks, and Ragha would have been pretty good at defeating my Laced Dragonians, especially with, of course, Althaea at the helm, because Althaea is a really, really good player. So that would have been a hard fight, but it might have been worthwhile. It certainly would have been more worthwhile than this quagmire, because I never ended up gaining anything from it. At the end of the game, my borders down here were about where they were when I attacked Ulm. I gained Strongdale, I guess. I gained Strongdale, but Strongdale's not even a very valuable province, and it doesn't have any magic sites that I ever found in it. So, not really worth it. I should have just made an agreement with Ulm, kept these provinces, and gone off somewhere else. But you know what they say, hindsight is 20/20. I made the decisions that I made at the time without the benefit of that hindsight, and I think I did okay. I was a little bit hampered by geography in this game just because the mountains and the rivers here... This river was a huge pain in the ass. If it hadn't been for the river, I would have gone for Abysia early. But with the river, of course, I would have had to march my armies around the long way, and any armies from these forts would have had to go up this way, or because I couldn't go through there because that was Pangaea, so it would have been a huge trouble to actually attack Abysia, and that's the main reason I never did. Because the only things that could really attack Abysia effectively were my Drakon, my Mekoneans, and whatever troops could be recruited from these forts. And these forts can't actually recruit huge numbers of troops. This one certainly can't. This one could spam out Heeled archers pretty effectively. You know, I could, like, if I had the money. But I was cash-strapped through much of the game, and of course, and like I said, I was geographically hurt that way. So, overall, did okay, could have done better. Obviously, I would like to have won the game, but like I said, Perun played a great game. His diplomacy was on point, and that's really important. He completely sandbagged me. I had okay scout coverage, not great scout coverage, but even so, I knew he was big, I knew he was in a good position, but I didn't notice his army until it was too late. Until it was a couple of turns, he was too far into the throne rush for me to stop it. So, very well done, Perun. Very well played to everybody. Dakede, who was playing, or Dakede, I still can't pronounce that. The player who was playing Man, also a great job. He played a very solid game. Kind of got unlucky with his position in that Man is like way far away from any of the thrones. The closest throne he's got is this one down here, Summer Edge, and that is a ways, the Throne of Life. Great throne for Man, but right next to Mictlan, a ways away from Man. And beyond that, there's just no thrones. There's a throne up here, but it's on the other side of mountains, and Pangaea. There's this throne over here. There's the throne in the water, but Man can't really go underwater. It was tough. It was a bad position for a throne victory. And he played very, very well. Like I said, definitely in the second position after Atlantis at the end of the game there. Agartha and Utgard I never really saw much of. I believe they were pretty much fighting each other most of the game, if not the whole game. Yeah, Utgard was doing really well as well. Utgard is up there near the number 3 slot, if not in the number 3 slot. Definitely was winning the war against Agartha, but it just took so long, and I think it sucked all of their attention away from going for the throne victory. Utgard had the Throne of the Stars, but the next closest throne to him was the Golden Throne over here, which Atlantis took quite early on in the game, fortified, and started pumping out add up to the Golden Order. And this is also a fantastic province for gems. Death, air, and water. So 3 gems per turn, plus the Golden Throne, bringing in 200 extra gold. That's a good province right there. Tianchi, I think Tianchi was a little bit hampered by having strong neighbors. Utgard was playing very strongly. Of course, down here he had Ragha in Althea's hands, who just crushed his advance in that direction. Up here he had Atlantis, who he'd made a deal with, and then over here there was the battlefields of Ulm. And MeadMaker, the Ulmish player, MeadMaker played a fantastic defensive game. I am so impressed. I mean, look, he was on the losing side of a 3-person pileup early on in the game. At one point, he was pushed back all the way to his capital. Nothing left but a single besieged fort, and he still fought his way out. He was re-expanding as the game ended. Turn 42, MeadMaker back up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 provinces from being down to 1. That is impressive performance. Very good job, dude. I'm very impressed with that. I'm impressed with all the players. We all played a really solid game, had a lot of fun. Definitely going to be playing another subscribers game in the very near future. In fact, by the time this video goes up, the second subscribers game should be underway. So you should be looking forward to seeing some videos coming out of that pretty soon as well. But in any case, thank you so much to all the players. Thank you so much to everyone watching the video. This is the end of the series. if you liked this series, leave a like on the video, let YouTube know so that YouTube knows what to show people. Consider subscribing to the channel and or donating to the Patreon if you really like what I do and want to support it. And whether you do or not, I will keep on rolling here, and I'll see you in the next series. Thank you very much, and take care.